With all of the chaos that has happened with TNA Wrestling this past week, rumors swirling that the company was being streamlined before eventually being put up for sale, and with the recent news of talks with OVW to serve as their developmental territory in what seems to be a hard reset, well, in this video we detailed that this could have all happened back in 2010. Before the Hogan era collapsed, before the Spike TV deal was gone, before TNA became a footnote instead of a force, there was a phone call. And on the other end of that line was the one man who'd already proven that he could build a wrestling revolution from nothing, Paul Heyman. This is the deal that almost changed the wrestling industry again, and the single decision that guaranteed TNA's slow decline. It's 2010. TNA Wrestling has been on Spike TV for 6 years, and ratings are stuck at a stubborn 1.0. The audience isn't growing, the product isn't evolving. Spike TV knows it, the Carter family knows it. Everyone inside the Impact Zone knows it. Then, on January 4th, 2010, TNA makes its move. Monday night. Head-to-head with Monday Night Raw. Hogan, Bischoff. The nostalgia play. It works briefly, but not in the long term. The story is old, and the Spike TV network and executives are watching very, very carefully. Because somewhere, in a boardroom that the wrestling world never heard about, they are already having a different conversation. Here's what you need to understand about how Paul Heyman could have been in TNA back in 2010. He isn't just a wrestling mind. He is the man who built ECW from a Philadelphia provincial promotion into a national phenomenon. He's the architect of SmackDown's most critically acclaimed era. The only person in professional wrestling history who legitimately turned a budget crisis into an artistic advantage. And Spike TV wanted him in TNA. Not as a consultant, not as a writer, not as another voice around the table. Heyman told Ring Rust Radio exactly what his demands were. I wanted the Dana White deal. I wanted complete control. I wanted a piece of that company. And I wanted the ability, when the time was right, to take it public. Now let that sit for a moment. The Dana White deal. Equity. An IPO. This wasn't a booking proposal. This was a restructure dressed in wrestling language. Heyman wasn't asking to write television. He was asking to own its future. And what did he want to do with that control? A youth revolution. Heyman's concept was plain and simple. A promotion built from the bottom up on young talent, not nostalgia acts, not WWE rejects looking for a paycheck. Wrestlers in their mid-20s, hungry, unproven, and willing to tear a house down every single night. Think about TNA's roster back in 2010. AJ Styles is in his prime. The X Division is producing some of the most athletic matches in professional wrestling in North America. Samoa Joe, Beer Money, the Motor City Machine Guns, the bones were already there. Heyman didn't need to rebuild TNA from scratch. He just needed to strip away everything that wasn't that. The dead weight. The legends past their prime who couldn't cut it anymore. Spike TV, the people writing the checks, had signed off on it already. That's in Heyman's own words, and take that how you want it. The network, the plan, the financing, all aligned. One signature away. And it didn't happen. Why? One word: control. Dixie Carter had built TNA with her family's money, Panda Energy backing, years of investment, the Impact Zone in Orlando, every decision, every hire, every direction, it ran through her. And Paul Heyman wasn't asking to work alongside Dixie Carter. Rather, he was asking to replace her. Heyman was direct about the friction point. They were happier being a WWE light promotion than they were being something different as TNA. Dixie Carter didn't want a youth product. She wanted prestige. She wanted Hulk Hogan. She wanted the nostalgia that made the mainstream notice TNA, even if it was slowly killing the company underneath. And here's where things get complicated. It was because Heyman wasn't wrong about what TNA needed, especially now, but the argument against him wasn't entirely wrong either. And this is the part that nobody wants to say out loud. Paul Heyman destroyed ECW. Not through bad booking, but because his booking was revolutionary with the company, but through financial mismanagement that made ECW fundamentally unstable. Wrestlers unpaid, bills mounting, a TNN TV deal that never delivered the support it promised. ECW eventually would file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2001. Heyman is a creative genius. He is not, by any track record, a business executive. This is Sudden Impact, the premier destination for news and stories about TNA Wrestling. Drop your version of the story in the comments, because I want to know what you think. Does TNA survive under Heyman, or does it become another ECW?